Hello there. I can't tell who's there. I really like to know. I was on earlier, but I had to get off. I'm babysitting my grandson. Can someone please tell me whether or not if you can hear me? I would like to know. Can you just send me type and just let me know whether or not you can hear me? If it's someone I know. If not, I guess I'll just keep talking. I think my speaker's up. Says my mic. Anyway, welcome to my stream. This is Phyllis. I guess a lot of people, those people that know me know that I like really people engage. I don't care if you're a troll or whatever. I'm just gonna ignore you. But anyway, but the topic I want to talk about, someone told me today that they were afraid of getting old. And I want to know, are you afraid of getting old? Because here, I don't mind talking about things. I keep it real. I keep it real here. And I have no problem discussing stuff. But anyway, I think I'm going to answer this question for this person. They told me that they were afraid of getting old, and I asked them why. And they just said they were afraid of dying. That was a new one for me because I guess I don't really think a lot about whether or not I'm afraid to die or whatever. I think we all have thought about our immortality, that we know that we're not going to live forever, not on this earth, because I believe in hereafter. Uh, but no, I'm not. But I think she was afraid of getting old because she think that the bottom line, the end is death. We're all going to go. We know it's appointed unto all of us wants to go to die, and after that, the judgment. If you believe in what the word says, we're going to all face our creator one day. But growing old is part of living. We all grow old. We all would love to be young and beautiful and flawless all our life, but that's not going to happen. So I think the sooner we realize that and accept that and try to make our lives as we grow older and try to grow old gracefully. And what I mean by that, when I say gracefully, I don't mean like more so than looking pretty and all our makeup in place or whatever. I think for me, growing old gracefully is accepting the fact that I am gonna grow old each and every day. We all grow old, and as we grow older, we may get more health problems and challenges. But I think the grow old gracefully to me is to accept the fact that I am the age I am, and I know my limitations, but yet I don't let my age define me. I guess a lot of people say, well, if you're 40, you're 50, you act like it. My thing is, if you're young and you're 50 or whatever, you want to do whatever you want to do, knock yourself out. Don't let people tell you you have to stop doing things just because you reached a certain age. So I would like to know, I hope you can hear me. It's showing that my microphone is working, but I'm not quite sure. But anyway, that's what growing old gracefully means to me. But I don't think we need to be afraid of getting older. Yeah, your looks gonna change. Yes, things gonna start going south. Yes, you may lose some teeth. Yes, you may lose some hair. Your hair may get gray. You're gonna gain some weight. We all have gained weight during the pandemic, but I refuse to just look at things that way and let that define me. My thing is, I believe for work for me is to do what I like to do, whatever rocks my boat and is not interfering or hurting someone else, or is not demeaning me, Phyllis, and that I stay true to myself, and that I continue to be self-aware, and that I know my limitations, and I'm going to stay not so much in my comfort zone, because I have to get out of my comfort zone a lot. I think you don't grow if you always stay in your comfort zone. But sometimes I think people try to do things that way past who they are. You know what I'm saying? Now, my thing, if you want to wear wigs, wear wigs. If you don't want to wear wigs, don't wear wigs. My grandson said the other day, now you all know that my hair basically is a curly hair. But my grandson saw me put this on the other day. He said, Grandma, why are you putting on that put on hair? He called it put on hair because I put it on. And I thought he had never really seen a wig per se. But to him, he's very literal. You put it on. So he called it you put on hair. And it was so fun. And we were about to go to church. And I said, okay, when we get to church, don't tell people I have my put on hair. Like they didn't know. But I thought it was so cute. And so I think we could do whatever we feel that make you feel attracted to yourself. And, but, I think sometimes I heard people say they don't like to go on camera anymore because they don't look the way they looked a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and they start hiding from the camera. Look, growing old is part of living, and dying is the end of living. So it all, but at the same time, ask yourself, are you afraid of growing old? And as a social worker, let's say, I told my son today, when you get a case, it's always the presenting problem. What is the presenting problem? What is it that you're afraid of about growing old? I think with women, they say women are vain. Maybe a little bit, I don't know. But we like to look good. Everybody likes to look good. Everybody wants to stay young, but you're not going to stay young. But the old, I think the ultimate goal, they said, is to grow old. So I think if you're growing old, that means you're still alive. So in life, you got to learn to look at the positive side of things. You have to learn to look at the positive side of things. I do, because that's how I stay focused. That's how I stay happy. And my son and I were talking today, and I was telling him that it seems like the older I get, the less I like to talk. I think the older I get, the less I like to talk. And I think is that true? Well, I think so. It's not that I don't like to talk. I like to talk less. Is that I like to talk less about things that I can't do anything about. That's what I mean. It's kind of like I don't like to waste my energy on things that I cannot do anything about. Those of you that know me know I've always lived by the serenity prayer. And I've always found that a good guide for my life. And when I find myself getting too overwhelmed about something, or I feel like, oh, I just can't tackle it, what is going on? And I start getting out of my element, and if I get anxious, I actually do this, guys. I step back. In my spirit, I step back and I look at this. I said, listen, I have a conversation with myself. I said, look, there's nothing, Phyllis, you can do about this. So listen, let me table this. Okay? And I just bury it, or I take it to my creator, take it to God, and I leave it there. I try to leave it there. Sometimes I may pick it up, but I go back. So with that in mind, I hope you learn to find some way, a strategy, the not get anxious or high positive. I'm doing fine. How you doing? And the answer to your question, the video, Xander is my grandson. He's my youngest grandson. That's another whole ball game. But we're talking about, are you afraid of growing old? That was presented to me today. Someone told me they were afraid of growing old. It was a woman. And I was thought about that, and I thought about myself. Am I afraid of getting old? I'm fine. How are you, Markel? Everybody say hello to each other. The question tonight is, are you afraid of growing old? I should have put in there, but I wanted you to talk about it. Maybe keep repeating it. Well, you're afraid of growing old and older. But getting old is the goal. It's the goal. It's to grow old. We are going to get old. We're going to get we older each and every day. And I think a lot of us age even fast. That's good, Markel. That's good. Uh, so I hope we can look at this. Are we afraid of growing old? And what does that look like? As we get older, we all deal with some health challenges or whatever. I'm fairly healthy. I've had surgery in both my shoulders before, and I got a little arthritis, and one is over here a little worse than the other. I live with that, but I try to minimize that by keeping my inflammation at bay. And so my thing, like I say, is growing old is to try to have optimal health. And I think we do that by our diet. And guys, my thing is, I had a frosty tonight. I'm going to treat myself. I don't buy ice cream, but I like to treat myself. And I think in life, you got to have quality of life, especially during this pandemic. I think we all have splurged one way or another. We've tried to pacify ourselves to keep our minds sane. But with all what's going on in the world, they're killing our black men. There's just so much mess going on. And you turn the radio or TV on and local news. My husband said, boy, you have it on 5 minutes. I think it's murders and people shooting and killing each other. Drive the clerk, attack the customer the other day in one of those fast food restaurants. It's just like people are losing their freaking minds. I think people are so depressed and people are so anxious and they're afraid of what's going on. Not only they're afraid of growing old, people thinking about afraid of catching COVID. Hi, Jimmy Grace. We're talking about growing old. Are you afraid of growing old? Or what are you afraid of? I think we all have some fear, but I think fear is one of those things you got to address each fear, each situation that have you fearful. You got to find out, why am I fearful? What's caused me to be fearful? What's caused me to be anxious? So I know I'm getting older, but I'm not afraid of growing older. I think it's just how you grow old, how you look at it. You know, that old saying, growing old gracefully. What does it look like for you? How are you gonna tackle all your health challenges, or if you have some new ones, how are you gonna address when you look in the mirror and you see your gray hair or you see stuff going south? How are you gonna address those things? I think you have to address each situation as it happens. Oh, what's your 624 ghost grandma or aunt? Oh, yes. Yes. 624 ghost. His grandmother, right, was my aunt. Yes. Jim, are you afraid of how people could still judge your disability? I'm sorry. Gemma has autism, and she's an advocate for those that have that disability. She does a great work. So, guys, something you want to know about how someone has learned to be victorious. Gemma, I think you do a great job of dealing with your autism, your disability, but you're afraid of how people still judge your disability. But I found out that a lot of times you have to, how I deal with fear. Let me see. I'm going to think about this very carefully. Okay. Here's an example. How I had how I deal with fear. I used to be very fearful of, you're stronger. Yes, but people society are very judgmental. They're very judgmental. But I think it's something got to, get to a point where we kind of let it roll off our back, Jimmy. I know it's not easy, but just to look at those people and see them and don't see them. And what harm can they do to you? Like I was going to say, I used to be afraid years ago when I was younger and I was in debt. I'm not in debt now, but I was in debt. And the bill collector used to call the house. And Jim, I was really afraid to even talk to the people on the phone. I was terrified. I was petrified. I didn't want to talk to them. And my mentor, she's gone now. You know what she said to me? My mentor said to me, she said, Phyllis, what can they do to you over the telephone? I will never forget that. She said, they can't throw you in jail. They do not throw you in jail in the United States for debt. And what bodily harm can they do to you through the telephone? And I woke up. So that moment, I was never afraid to talk to anybody that I owe anything. No, I'm 624 Goat's cousin. His grandmother was our aunt. Right. His grandmother was our aunt. So that makes us cousins. Right. That makes us cousins. Okay, so in other words, 624 dad is our cousin. That's how it works. So from that moment on, I was never afraid to talk to bill collectors over the telephone. Never. I was never afraid to talk to bill collectors over the telephone. So that's how I look at things. I said, what harm can they do? So I've learned over the years to be because I had to be very confrontive, because I had, my job, I had to deal with conflict and all that kind of stuff. So I have no problem being confronted or dealing with issues. So, and I try to keep things real, because you can live your life. You can live your life the way you would like things to be, or you can live your life and deal with the facts of how they are. You can do that. You can pretend this is how life is when it isn't. I'm doing great through this from this quarantine. I'm doing great. I got both my shots, and that's another whole ball game. But I still wear my mask. But I'm kind of beginning to emerge more in the community. About 3 weeks ago, I went to church. I put my mask on. I didn't go to my church. I just felt like going to church. I got up. I researched a church here in my community where I just moved to. And I went. I put my mask on. And I didn't know anybody. I just wanted to go in the house of God. Now, don't get me wrong. You do not have to go in the house of God to have a relationship with God. I don't believe you have to just always go to church. Right. I'm ready. I am ready. So I'm out here trying to live my life. But I don't want you to be afraid. Fear is crippling. Fear is crippling. And we all have some things in life. I'm not saying I'm overcoming a fear of cats. My son in Virginia got a cat, and I'm getting a little used to the cat. He can walk past me now and all this kind of stuff. And I did pet the little cat. Hey, amen, D. Bailey and Associate. That's not the son. D. Bailey and Associate is my son. That's not the one. Well, he has a cat too. But I'm trying to overcome my fear. And my children told me, Mom, you need to really deal with that. And I thought, why? And they wanted me to, they know the type of woman I am. And they know that they felt like their mom is strong, overcome a lot of things. And they wanted me to overcome this little simple fear of cats. Yeah, so, we all have our stuff. People are afraid of a lot of stuff. But growing old, losing your health or stuff. And Gemma just shared that she's afraid of how people are going to judge her disability. So those please go by and say hello and see what a lot of these guys about. They have some wonderful channels. D. Bailey Associate is a person that even though he's my son, he's a broker, a real estate broker, and his agency on Atlanta now helped my husband out just to buy this house a couple of months ago. And I always like to give him some kudos. So thank you, Darius. And D. Bailey also, I keep saying D. Bailey, that's my son. He also was helping me with my first garden. So go back and check out my garden. I'm doing a little gardening. So I am so happy to be back, Gemma, here on YouTube. I miss you guys. But like I said, I do the other social medias, not Facebook so much, but I do like Instagram. But I think my social media platform of choice is YouTube. So are you guys afraid of growing old? People share it in the stream what they're afraid of. And you don't want to share it, that's fine. We respect that. But I think you can't go through life. You can't go through life being fearful. Fear does cripple us. And I told you guys earlier, those that missed it, how to overcome fear, talking to collectors over the phone. I'm working on my fear cats. And what other kind of real, like I said, I think we can't overcome everything, but I think you should overcome something that's crippling to you. Right. Something that's crippling, that's interfering with you being all that you can be and pursuing the things you want to pursue in life. And there are people afraid of going outside. And I think level of fear has gotten worse with COVID. There are people now that don't want to leave the houses ever again. Believe it or not, there are people actually do not want to ever leave the house again. So they've taken on a new fear. I'm not going to live in fear of COVID. I'm still going to do my part. And I've been wearing my mask for the past year, 13, 14 months now? It's been a year in March. So I'm still going to continue to wear my wear. Hi, KC. Today was KC's birthday, guys. Happy birthday, KC. She's one of my soul sisters here in the YouTube community. Oh, yes. KC, I told a joke earlier about this hair. You know what my grandson called it? My put-on hair. My put-on hair. Well, my natural hair is basically curly too, but this is what they call it, put-on hair. KC, Gemma, and KC D. Bailey Associates, that's one of my sons. And guys, today is KC Detox birthday, and I'm going to take a moment to sing happy birthday to her, okay? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to KC. Happy birthday to you. And many more. I think she turned 51. Is that right, KC? She's been through some stuff, guys, in life. So you need to go over there. And she has a documentary coming out. Come here. Come here. Then want to say good night, everybody. Your dad is in the stream. This your daddy, D. Bailey Associates. Just tell your dad hello.
Hello, Daddy. I don't see Daddy.
You can't see him, but he's typing. You can't see it. It's not a lie. This is not one of those FaceTime.
Oh.
Yeah.
What are you even talking about?
Well, they can see you and hear you. Zelda made a video to deceive the guy, his first video. He said he wanted a video. He wanted to tell the sweet brownie something. He told the sweet brownie something. So this is my youngest grandson, and he came to tell everybody good night. Right?
No, I came to see what you were doing now.
You better go to bed. You go to bed. His boy said he came to see what I was doing. He knows it's bedtime. His papa gonna put him to bed in a minute. He didn't take a nap today. But Casey was talking about growing old. Somebody told me today that they were afraid of growing old. then I decided to answer the question like for myself. And I said, no, I'm not afraid of growing old. And I made a commitment to myself to grow old gracefully. And what that means for me when I say grow old gracefully is accept the fact that we're going to grow old and the goal is to grow old, right? The goal is to grow old. We're going to gain weight. We all have gained weight through COVID. But I think as you grow older, metabolism slows down. But I try to exercise at least 3 days a week. Yeah, she's 51 years young. So I try to stay active, do my 3 miles or whatever. I still treat myself to what I want to eat. I'm going to have quality of life. And I'm going to eat the things. Xander?
Sorry.
Seriously now, what time is it?
Bedtime.
Okay, say good night.
Good night.
All right, Papa, put him to bed for me. Yes, so but growing old grace, like I said, if I want to wear what Xander calls my put on hair, he said, Grandma, you got put on hair. That's the first time he saw it, and to him, I put it on. So to him, it's put on hair. So it is put on hair. And but whatever you want to do, you know, I always joke about God forbid anything happened to my husband. 21 years. I'm not going anywhere. We don't plan to go anywhere. But I always joke, just make a joke about it. I told my husband, I said, if anything I ever get married again, I'm gonna be a cougar. So hi Shanique, how you doing, sweetie? Shanique, you know KC, today is her birthday, and I just finished singing happy birthday to her. She's 51 years young. That's right. And we're talking about, are you afraid to grow old? And we're just helping each other. Don't be afraid. Whatever fears you have, we're going to pray about those fears, and we're going to try to tackle as many fears as possible. Thank you, Shanique. I hope everybody knows Shanique. And Shanique, I'm so proud of you. She's growing. A lot of people supporting her. You guys are awesome. I have missed each and every one of you. But like Casey said, as a spiritual life coach, I have to pull away from social media and take care of my own self, my own life, and my own spiritual life, and just life. So sometimes you have to come aside and rest a while. Right. She's in the best part of her life. I am too. Life is great, and God blessed us to buy this little house. And yes, I miss you all. I love you too, Gemma. And I want you guys to just, tackle your fears and take care of your sanity. Yes, take care of each other. Protect your sanity. Protect your peace. And become more self-aware. I'm just working with people to try to teach people to become more self-aware and looking up and do your research. And I think in life, years ago when I came out of divorce, I've been married this time 21 years, but I learned that in that time, I found out I didn't quite know what I wanted, but I recognized and I discovered and I came to terms what I don't want, what I didn't want. You have to first find out what you don't want. It may take a little to find out what you do want, but you got to master what you don't want in your life. And I've learned in life that just because I'm not looking at all your videos or I'm not on social media, I'm still thinking about you guys. I'm still praying for you because I can do more for you on my knees. And so that's what I do. I am a spiritual advisor. I'm a spiritual life coach, and I'm a spiritual person. And I spend a lot of time in the prayer closet in the wee hours of the morning, night, praying for you all. I may not call all of you by your names, but if I know there's something specifically that you're going through, I may mention that. But see, it's not important that I know everything what you're going through, because the great creator and the great I am, he knows what you're going through. He knows exactly what each of us going through. He knows all our fears. He knows all our shortcomings. He knows what's best for us. He knows who's best for us. And he knows the future for each and every one of us. So I think it's important that we take all our fears, all our insecurities, all our anxiety or whatever we all dealing with and just give it to him. But you know what? That does not mean that you won't go back and pick it up and think about it again. But it's practice. It's practice. You do something over and over again, then it becomes norm for you. And I've shared this, and I can tell you it works, guys. I've been to workshops, and it's scientific proof that it takes 21 days for our mind, our brains to overcome or to learn a new something or to overcome something. And I tried that. That was a challenge, 21 days. So you start out with something simple. And with me, it was learning how to hydrate my body. I hated water. So a couple of years ago, after attending that workshop, I did 21 days of drinking water first thing in the morning. And now, guys, do you know I do that? It's just like second nature to me. I get up every morning and I drink water. So I conquer that by the grace of God. So then I started on another bad habit, trying to live in another bad habit and to pick it up. Any bad habit, you got to kind of replace it with something else. Because there's always a positive and a negative. And we know anything that our God has for us, our enemy, right, one little bit at a time. That's right. So you set another goal. And then 21 days, you work on that. And so then the other was like actually taking time out to read, if not the Bible, some inspirational something. And after a while, you got to have that, guys. You got to keep your mind positive. And I was saying earlier, just because I'm not here, and just because you may not see somebody all the time or hear on social media, it's not mean I don't care for you, love someone. Sometimes you move on. We have to move on to different things. We all have a purpose. And sometimes that purpose may mean on another platform or it may mean something else. And I'm sure you all have worked with people that you love truly and you love dearly, or relatives you were once close to, you're not close to anymore, but you still love them. But you have to move on. That's what I think God does for me. I make a lot of friends. I call them associates, rather. I have friends, and then you love them, and they were special in your life and important to you at that moment in your life. Then you have to move on. Right. You have to move on. It has nothing to do with whether you love them or not. You don't stop loving people. It's just time to move on, to something else. So God is good. God is so good. And I always give him the credit. But fear, deal with your fear. Deal with your fears. And somebody say, we talked about secrets. No, I don't think every secret has to be shared. This is not good to take things to your grave. It depends. I think those things that are hindering you, I talked about this earlier. I was talking to someone today about this. I think those fears or those things in life or those secrets that are eating away at your core are hindering you to be all you can be for yourself or for others, then definitely those things need to be addressed. But there are some secrets I think I will take to my grave. I don't think of nobody being but me and the good Lord. So, but some things I think are certain secrets, there are things that happened in my life as a child. I dealt with them, and there's no shame in my game. Shanique's birthday is Thursday, guys. She's turning 35. Gotta remember that. I just saw that. Shanique's dreams. She's gonna be 35. She's still a baby, guys. She has a long way to go, but God is blessing her. She has a car, and she's telling the story. You can go back and check her channel out. Yeah, life goes on, but we always love them. That's right. So, people apologize. I haven't been on your channel. I get it. It's called life. It's called life. So, whatever you're doing to get through life, you got to find ways to deal with things that's crippling you, whatever it is. for the thoughts or habits or relationships, whatever. Life is too short, guys. It is too short not to be happy. And that's another whole topic. What is happiness? What do you consider happiness? Well, we'll talk about it another time. But tonight, just talking about what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? So, and I, like I said, you're all welcome. I'm going to try to put it, I keep forgetting if I can be of any help with you personally. You can reach me. I'll put it in the stream. It's at, send me an email, impact 58, impact me 58 at gmail.com. Impact me 58 at gmail.com. But life is good. Yeah, that's a COVID. But you know what I heard in the news today, guys? They said this today, only 16 people have lost their lives due to COVID. Now that is something to celebrate. 16 people, only 16 people today have lost their life to COVID. So we got to learn to take care of ourselves. You got to learn to find out what is hindering you from being all you can be. And don't let COVID stop you from living your life. Don't let it. And don't let other people hinder you from living the life or being who you want to be. Everybody's entitled to be happy. And sometimes that may mean leaving some folks behind, or it may be just revamping, reassessing who you are, and be honest with those fears or those disabilities or whatever you may call them that's hindering me to be all that I can be. Because life is beautiful, but yet it's short. It's short. So you got to enjoy it, and you got to take time to enjoy each other. People are just dying, not from COVID so much. People dying from the hands of people that are unhappy, that are miserable, that are just evil, downright evil. You've been homeschooling kids. That's great. Homeschooling has helped tremendously. Right. So that's some good things did come out. I said, what good came out of COVID? I still believe in Romans 8. All things work together for good to those that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. Not some things, one thing, maybe a few things, but all things. You're applying for another homeschool for the following year? That's good. So, yes, I was thinking about applying, do some homeschooling here in my state, but I don't know if I have time. My girlfriend used to homeschool other people's kids, not her own. So I don't have anybody to homeschool, but I was thinking about doing it, but I was like, when would I have time to do it? So, yes, so that's good, Shanique. You're homeschooling. Okay, you're going to apply for another year, for the following year. That's great. It's great to homeschool your kids if you can. Are you going to homeschool all the way to 12th grade or just the formative years? Just going to do elementary? I think it's a great thing that you're doing, Shanique, because your children are still very young. And I see you're engaged. Congratulations. I heard you said in your last video, your fiance. You got to keep us posted. Yes, you got to keep us posted. I just enjoy live streams. I really do, because you learn so much. You get to until the 12th grade. Okay, that is a good foundation, Shanique. That's a good foundation. That's awesome. See, a lot of people can't do it. I think they're going to homeschool Xander. They did for a while during COVID, but he'll be starting kindergarten. I think more people should homeschool their kids, because this world is crazy. It is crazy. Yeah, people are judging, asked me about why did I get the shots. And somebody asked me that. I said, well, I prayed about it and I thought about it, did my research, and I found out more about the COVID. And when I found out that the COVID vaccine is not a live vaccine, and that really is just it's a vaccine that I forgot the name of, but I'm breaking down elementary. And what it is a vaccine that actually it's in your body. And what it does is identify when the COVID, if you get COVID, and it say, oh, here's COVID, and it start attacking those cells. Yes, ma'am. He is working on the road now. I'll keep you guys posted. I'll try to play away and we'll tell him going to the courthouse. You know what, Shanique? My husband and I did that. We went to the courthouse, and as a matter of fact, he had to be to work right after that. So my husband, we went to the courthouse. We thought about this thing. We said, listen, we want to take, I have a big wedding. It's not our first marriage, our second. And so we thought, look, we could save that money and pay out some bills. And that's what we did. So we've had 2 houses in 21 years. So, you know, the ceremony is different from the marriage. You can take that money and save it. And you can have a little something later on. Order cake and Silly Mama. Hi, how you doing, Silly Mama? We did KC Detox birthday today. She's 51 years, and Shanique's birthday is third. She's gonna be 35. Yeah, we're talking about you further getting old. We're talking about homeschooling. We're talking about getting the COVID. I got the COVID, and I did just want the commitment, to be honest. That's right. Yeah, you know you need me for some premarital counseling. You're welcome to call me. Yeah, you're welcome to give me a call, because that's what I do. Premarital counseling. I think everybody should get premarital counseling. Yes, I'm feeling good. How you feeling, Silly Mama? Yeah, like I say, when I found out that COVID is not a live virus, what it is that it's a vaccine that goes in your body, and what it does if you get COVID, it starts attacking it, so it won't affect your cells. So, being in the medical field, I didn't want to take a live vaccine. Now, if you get the flu shot is the flu. It's the vaccine, but not the COVID. So I had both shots and nothing happened. Yeah, do premarital counseling. You bailed the other day, taking one day at a time. Okay, I remember you in prayer, Silly Mommy. So you guys, don't know Silly Mommy, go back and give her a shout out. You'll like her. And Shanique's also. Yeah, it's one day at a time. But premarital counseling is the only way. I'm telling you. I used to do training with premarital counseling, believe it or not. And there's some people, I know a couple of people after they finished the session, they felt that they weren't ready. Man, I think that's very intelligent for people. That was a good decision. That's being self-aware to me. I understand that they weren't ready. They had to work on some things, because marriage is no joke. Marriage is is a commitment, and there's a lot of myth out there about what marriage is. And a lot of people really, I had to learn myself many, many years ago what marriage is. Marriage is work. Marriage takes work, and it's not for cowards, and it's not for selfish people. There's really no place in a marriage for being selfish. So I hope everything works out, and we'll pray toward the end. And like I said, it takes work and commitment. Just want to be honest. That's right. I don't think the first advice I give to anybody is just to don't disregard your red flags. You know, there are red flags in any relationship, the beginning of any relationship. There are red flags, and sometimes in life we disregard those red flags, but we pay in the long run, because I've disregarded red flags in previous relationships and previous marriages. But I thank God 21 years together last month. Yes, Silly Mama, you went through it. I know that's right. Ain't no joke. And one thing about marriage is to be careful. Hi, Step. How you doing? Everybody know Step? Welcome, Step. And what, like I say, we have to not disregard our red flags of beginning a relationship because they're there. But sometimes those red flags are coming out. A red flag is something that you'll see somebody do something, you'll see a behavior, and then that behavior is in your mind, and then after a while, it's planted. Then after a while, you start saying, "That ain't really so bad." So you see things, and you may think about it a second or third time. That could be a red flag. So you just want to address it. My husband and I, Gary, when we got together, we were both determined this was going to be it. So we put everything on the table, everything, everything from whatever faith, religion, down to if you're whatever medication you're on. We talked about everything. 1 minute. Xander? Xander? Come on. In 2 minutes, what is it? Papa will come tell you in 5 minutes, okay? Yeah. Don't disregard those red flags. So, I'm telling you, don't disregard those red flags. Like I say, but we talked about everything. That's right. You got to go deep before you leap. But I think a lot of times, Shanique, we don't want to go deep because we're afraid we're going to lose the person. Well, if you don't go deep before you leap, you're going to lose them anyway in the future, down the road somewhere. Somebody going to lose somebody, going to lose something. Right, down to everything. So I think that was the success of our marriage. We were honest with each other. We were honest with each other. And I'm going to be honest with you, that was hard for me to actually start talking about what I owed because I was kind of embarrassed. I'll be honest, I was a little embarrassed to tell this man about what I owed. And so, but he was telling me, so I had to tell him. And I had one little bill. I had this little Fingerhut. Remember Fingerhut? I had this little Fingerhut account. And he said to me, listen, we're going to pay this off. The APR is just too high. And I got rid of that. We paid that off. So I think you have to be honest with yourself and be honest with each other. So that's my spiel. Like I said, I do this all the time with couples and stuff like that. But I think keeping it real. And that's the only way I know to live with myself is to be honest with me, be true to me. If I can't be true to myself, I can't be true to anyone else. So I believe in keeping it real with me. Right. I had to stop with that Fingerhut, Shanique, because that Fingerhut, what I realized with Fingerhut, some of that stuff is 3 times the price. You can go get it from Amazon or from the store. I think I had Fingerhut because it's just convenient. But I really, really, really. So we moved here. It took me a year and a half, about a year and 4 months to really get my credit just to where that's right, don't mess with it, where I could buy this house. Because I'm telling you, it's really defeat the purpose to rent for years and years and years and years and years. I'm telling you, we need to own something. Right. We need to own something. It's time for us. It's been time. It's long overdue. It's time for us to really start looking at owning something. Right. Capital One is, I have a Capital One. I've had it for many, many years. And my limit is not much on that card at all. And they want to increase my limit. And I told them, no, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. But I'm telling you, the worst one, don't fool with these people, Credit One. Credit One is worse than Capital One. I'm telling you. I do owe my house and some property as well. That's good. That's good, silly mama. That's right. I've had this is my third, 1, 2, 3. My third house. And this is my husband's 5th house. This is our second together. So right, we need to, it's not impossible. It's just you may take you a year or so to get your credit right. That's right. It may take you right. That's good. We need to own something. We got to get ourselves act together as a collective group of black people. A lot of black people own stuff now, but more of us need to own. We need to own because here in the Metro Atlanta area, it's terrible. It breaks my heart to see. I know firsthand that a lot of young people in their 20s they can't afford apartments, right? So here in the Atlanta area, you have most of the apartments, you have to make 3 times the amount to qualify for an apartment. And a lot of these kids cannot. So what they're doing is they live in these extended stay hotels. Guys, they paying $1,400 for a room. And a lot of them have kitchenettes because it just, I'm not going to get into real estate right now, but I'm telling you, my son is a real estate broker, and we need to just start buying. And you're not going to be able to buy a house in the Atlanta area if anybody thinking. So that's when I'll do another whole video on that one because I talk to my grandson and children every chance I get. Are you saving your money? Are you working on your credit? We're working on our credit. There's a veteran. He wants to wait until we both get our credit together for buy. That's great. My son is a veteran too. So like I said, if you need me to help you, I can show you how to do it. Shanique, I love it. I am so proud. Even if before I bought this house, I had stopped years ago looking at my credit. I wasn't interested. So a lot of times we don't stay on top of our credit because we just live in life. And then we don't really realize how our lack of being involved in our credit score and our credit has gone to the dogs till you're ready to buy a house. But it's not impossible. It's just some work and some things you have to do to get it where it's a level that you're able to purchase a house. And a lot of people think I could never own a house, but you'll be a surprise and amazed in what you can do to get your credit to that level so you can actually get your dream home. That's right, Shanique. Pay it on time and don't pay just the minimum. If when you can, always pay over the minimum. It will take you longer, and by paying more on your minimum, on your charge card, it helps your score. Right. Just save, because like I said, even depending on what size, what kind of mortgage you want, what you qualify, you're going to need 10 grand, 10,000, to get ahead with a decent house. And I'm not talking about a real expensive house, but we've had expensive houses, but this house right here it's affordable and it's much cheaper than an apartment. And we're doing some work on it, but I love it. And I love the backyard, and I'm doing a garden, and I like it's big enough just for me and my hubby. So we're enjoying it. Right. Good night. Papa putting you in bed? Papa, I'll tuck you in. No, I'm doing live stream.
Well, why did you go out to it?
In a minute, I'll come in a minute. Papa tuck you in. I just come to you good night. Next, face off the next. It's a station for you. Meditation. It is on music. Here's a playlist in my life. Classical for sleep on Amazon Music. Okay, guys, I had a little crisis. Somebody want to say good. Yes, one of my old supervisors was about to buy a house and she ended up buying it because it looked good, but she paid an inspector to come out. Oh yeah, that's right. Got to pay for inspection. That's the purpose, guys. You're right. Happens without guilt. Cheers. That's right. That's right. Shanice, you got to get that inspection. That's what goes in your favor. You know, but anyway, if it's FHA, a lot of times you got to get it inspected. That's one of the requirements. You got to get it inspected because it has to pass inspection. But, you know, I just think that we as a whole, we got to help each other. You know, I don't know why we so selfish with information. Why are we so selfish with information? We won't help somebody save our life, but we think it's going to take something from us. It's not going to take anything like you sharing right here. We have to share with each other. We have to share. So I have really, really enjoyed you guys so much. And like I said, I've been gone for a minute and I will be trying to do my live streams again. And I miss you all and I thank the world of you. What was wrong with the home? What was wrong with the home? It was wrong with the home. Okay. There are a lot of things wrong with the home. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming to my live stream. Like I said, work on those fears and don't be afraid. Bye-bye.